Agenda 2030. You know, the one where we eat bugs, drink lithium and own nothing? We should probably think about that, being that we're only a few years away, and most people right now are either burying their heads in the sand and ignoring it, or simply praying that it won't happen. Well, this has been a plan for thousands of years in the making, my friends. So I doubt the powers that shouldn't be will just drop these plans at the last minute because us commoners don't like it. I have no doubt that Agenda 2030 will roll out, just not as successfully as they may have planned it. We are witnessing right now the systematic breakdown of our lives, so this agenda can be rolled out while we watch it. Look around you: the money system, the education system, the immigration system, the welfare system, the medical system, all being systematically decimated for the purpose of building something else in its place. However, as with all things in life, we all have a choice. Just because a few trillionaires want you to own nothing, eat bugs and drink lithium, doesn't mean you have to. They may have your money, but that doesn't mean they have your power. We all have the power of choice. Something that can't be taken away from you unless you give it away to them. You can make a calm, conscious choice to not be part of what is being offered in exchange for your freedom. No fighting has to happen. No conflict has to arise. Simply choose to live without their restrictions and their conveniences, and choose a life away from the grid and the systems. So if we choose to live away from the main grid, does that mean your access to life's conveniences will change? Yes, of course. Life outside the 2030 prison cells will present its own challenges and eventually mean no internet, no mobiles, no grocery stores, and eventually, even for some, no electricity. But that doesn't mean we can't create these things ourselves with the right people in the right communities, under the right conditions. Lots of people are calling this the end of the world, and that's not necessarily true. I think it's more the end of a slavery lifestyle and the beginning of a freedom one. As our current society comes to a dead end, there will be an opportunity for people to build a brand new way of life. Look around you. So many of us, 8 billion, are barely surviving. Many are stealing to make ends meet. If we had the opportunity to restructure our lives together so that we could all live peacefully with nourished bodies and warm beds with our loved ones, don't you think we should take it? Now, if we leave rebuilding of a society to the powers that shouldn't be, they will rebuild it around us in accordance with their 2030 agenda. We will own nothing. We'll rent everything. AI will run everything. We'll be drinking lithium and be over the moon about it all. This will make the tiny less than 1% richer than ever before, and the swarming 8 billion more destitute than ever before. But if we take this worldwide societal breakdown as an opportunity to rebuild our lives the way we want to, we could finally end so many of the problems plaguing the human race. Making sure all people are fed instead of some being fat while others starve. Make sure that all are abundant instead of some being richer than God while the rest pray to God. Rebuild an education system that educates instead of indoctrinates. 2030 is an opportunity, not an opposition. Once again, look around you. The systems that hold society together are being broken down anyway. So it's up to us how they are rebuilt. We can let the greed rebuild our world to funnel more greed to them. Or we can take ownership of our lives together and rebuild in ways that sees all the inhabitants of this planet loved and provided for. There is no good reason why millions of children die from dehydration on a planet that is made up of 70% water. We gave these people our power for the price of convenience, thinking they would make our lives easier. And they have never been richer, and the breadline has never been higher. So what to do? We have before us, my friends, an opportunity, an extraordinary opportunity. The opportunity to take a blank slate that has been wiped clean for us, to rebuild a world we would want to live in. No tax, no government corruption or deep state hidden agendas. A healthy population instead of a medicated population. An empowered population instead of an enslaved population. A cooperative society instead of a competitive society. A long road ahead? Yes. Of course, but one worth travelling, especially for the younger generations who will stand on the shoulders of our hard work. And as with all journeys, they begin with a single step. Even big bewildering journeys like building a self-sufficient society of kind, loving people. Find other people who don't want to eat bugs, own nothing, and drink lithium. That shouldn't be too hard to do. It's another story to find people who are willing to leave their perceived conveniences. Get talking, get socializing, and trust me, if you're feeling alone right now and think you're the only one worried about life over the next few years, you're not. Most are just too scared to bring it up and think they are also alone in this.